Fine, let's start the class. Let's start the class. 1 second. Fine. So far, what we discussed, we'll see. Close this. So far, what we discussed is, so we are discussing about Power BI service, I think. Let me open it. For 9 a.m. Power BI service. Yesterday, we discussed about data flows, and we're trying to understand about the subfolders. What are the subfolders we have? We're trying to understand. So we know, we seen how to create a data flow yesterday. app.powerbi.com, 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 user 29, and let me give the password. So we created one workspace, project workspace, and in that project workspace, so a project workspace with the name 9 a.m., project 9 a.m. Jan 2021. So we created one data flow, and we seen what is this data set, how we will create the data set. There are some important options that are related to data set, guys. If you see here, there are some data set related options. Refresh, schedule refresh, analyze in Excel. Let's start understanding these options. We call them as data set options. There are few options which are important, which we need to understand. Let's talk about that few options. So today's class, we know what is data set. We'll try to understand some more things about data set. Understanding more about data set. We'll try to understand more about the data set today's class. Let me show you. We can call it as data set options. Today, we'll discuss about data set options. Data set options or actions. Some people will call it as data set actions. Actions. So there is a data set, and beside that you will find some options here like this. We call all these options as data set options or data set actions. Actions. What is that? We'll try to understand now. We'll try to understand what is all this. So first one is refresh, schedule refresh. About these two options, I already discussed it, guys. About this refresh and schedule refresh, we already discussed about them. About these two options, we already discussed. And the next option is analyze in Excel. So where we discussed about this refresh and schedule refresh is, I shared a gateway video. So in the gateway, we explain how to manually refresh the data set, how to manually bring the updated data to the data set, how to automate it by schedule refresh concept, how to automate it by using schedule refresh option we discussed. The next option you are seeing is analyze in Excel. Analyze in Excel. What is that analyze in Excel? How to work on it, we'll see now. Analyze in Excel. So what is that analyze in Excel is? So some people they are comfortable with Excel. They know Excel very good. And same table, same data. You can even perform data analysis in Excel also. How we are performing the analysis in Power BI. How we are creating the reports in Power BI. The same way, we can even perform the analysis in Excel also. Whenever you want to, so you want to analyze this data which is there in this data set. Data set will contain tables, relationship between the tables, you will have it right in the data set. So whenever you need to analyze the data using Excel, you can click on Analyze in Excel. Look at this. When I click on Analyze in Excel, it got downloaded on Excel here. Open it. It will open an Excel file here, and where you can start performing the analysis. So where you can see tables, this Excel will connect to the data set. This Excel will connect to the data set. You can start performing analysis. Basically, as a Power BI developer, we never perform analysis in Excel. We don't need it. For some reasons, if you want to connect to the data set in Excel, if you want to perform analysis here, you can do it. You can do it, guys. You can select the columns. You can perform the analysis. You can start performing analysis, guys. Whenever you need to start performing some analysis, you can start performing it. Fine. Analyze in Excel. So whenever we need to connect to the data set from Excel, whenever we need to analyze it, we can go with an option called Analyze in Excel. As a Power BI developer, we never do it. We don't want it. Create report. On the data set, we can create the report in two ways. So on a data set, we can create the report in two ways. On a data set, we can create the report in two ways. So one way, create report using data set. It can be happen in two ways, guys. We can create the report using the data set in two ways. One way, we already know, using Power BI Desktop. You want to open Power BI Desktop. Once after opening the Power BI Desktop, we can do that. Create report using data set. It can be happen in two ways. One is using Power BI Desktop. Once after opening Power BI Desktop, how can we connect to the data set? Click on Get Data, Power BI Data Sets. So in Power BI Desktop, using Get Data, using Power BI Data Sets, we can create a report using a data set. This is one way. The second way to create is in Power BI service itself. We can create the report. In the Power BI service, you can find. So Power BI service, go to the data set, and click on data set options. Go to the data set and click on more options. Here you will find three dots. More options or data set options. So there you will find create report. Data set options. You need to go to data set options or actions. And there you will find create report. You can even create the report in Power BI service directly. Look at this. I can just click on create report. It will open same Power View environment. How it is opening Power View here? When you connect to any data set, user 29. Let me log in. Might be I given the wrong spelling or something. Same, when you connect from Power BI Desktop, how you will see the same way I can see here also. Report canvas, visualizations, fields. I can start developing here. I can start development here. I can start development here. I can start creating the visuals. I can select whatever the visuals I want. I can show whatever the data I need to show it. I want to show what is the total quantity. So here, when you open the data set, when you connect to any data set here, when you connect to any data set, I want to connect to a data set called, this is the data set name. Let me go back, don't save. I want to connect to a data set called this data set. Let me copy this. Let me search for it. And you will find it, click on create. So once you connect to the data set, how you will see here, the same way. I'm seeing report canvas, filters, visualizations, fields, right? The same way. When you go here, when you click on create report, you will even see. You can start creating the visuals. How you will develop the visuals there, same way you can develop it. Go here, drag the quantity column. And if you want, you can format it, adding the border and doing some formatting work. Same way, I want to show what is the total sales amount we have. So like this, we can start creating the visuals, guys. How we will create the visuals, and you can save it. Once you are done with creating them, you can add a page, you can create the visuals. Once you are done with creating the visuals, you can start saving it. Save it. You can give the name as Power BI Service Report. I can save it. When I click on save, you will find a new report in the reports folder. Look at this, you got a new report. So this report also created on the same data set which is available here, on the same data set. Then where you want to create the reports? There is a way where you can create the reports in Power BI Service, and there is a way where you can create the reports in desktop. Recommended is create them in Power BI Desktop only. Recommended is create them in where? Power BI Desktop only. This is the environment where Microsoft provided for development. But you have an option here also. You have an option here also. On a data set, you can create a report. Okay. Then delete. You can go and delete the data set. Here in interview, they'll ask you, when I delete the data set, what happens to my reports and what happens to my dashboards? On top of the data sets, we will create reports and we'll create dashboards. We'll create reports and dashboards, correct? Right. So on top of the reports, we'll create, on top of data set, you will have a data set like this, data set 1, data set 2. On top of data set, we'll create reports. On top of data set 1, report 1, we created, report 2, report 3, report 3. We created here, report 1, report 2, report 3. On top of data set 2, report 4, report 5, and report 6 we created. Report 6 we created. Right? So on top of reports, we can create dashboards. We created dashboard 1 using report 1 and report 2. We created dashboard 2 using report 3 and report 4. A dashboards can be created on multiple reports. Might be they created on same data set, or they might be created on different data sets. This report is created on different data set. This report is created on different data set. We are creating a dashboard here. The question here is, when I delete any dashboard data set, when I delete the data set 2, what happens to these reports? Report 4, report 5, report 6 was developed on top of it. So they will even ask, can we create a report on 2 different data sets? Someone tell me, can we create a report on 2 different data sets? Using data set 1 and data set 2, can I create any report? Can we create a report on 2 different data sets?
Yeah, we can create.
No. So it is not possible to create a report on 2 different data sets. A report can be developed on top of only a single data set, guys. A report can be developed only on top of a single data set. So can we develop a dashboard on two different data sets? Can we show in the report, can we show two data sets data? Means no. But can we show in a dashboard, can we show two different data sets data? Yes, it is possible. Yes, it is possible, right? Right. Now, when I delete any data set, what happens to the reports means reports will be completely deleted. This report 4, report 5, report 6 will be completely deleted when you delete the data set 2. Then what happens to this dashboard? So take an example. In this dashboard, totally I have 10 visuals. In this dashboard, I have 10 visuals. I have 5 visuals from this report 3 and 5 more visuals from report 4. 5 from here, 5 from here. 5 visuals I have it. So totally 10 visuals are there. 10 visuals are there. 5 from here and 5 from there. So when you delete a data set, it will delete the 5 visuals which you kept from the data set. So when you delete this data set, this report will be deleted. From that report, I kept 5 visuals. That 5 visuals will be deleted, but still dashboard will be there. Still dashboard will be there. Let me write here. When you delete the data set, the reports will be completely deleted. Reports will be deleted. So when you delete the data set, all the reports developed on top of the data set, all the reports developed on data set will be deleted. On developed on data set. When you delete data set, all the reports developed on data set will be deleted. Then what happens to the dashboard? So in dashboard, only visuals from the data set will be dashboard. In dashboard will be there. Dashboard visuals will be deleted. So whatever the visuals you kept in the dashboard from the data set, all that visuals will be deleted. So now tell me, I have a dashboard like this. I have data set 1. I have data set 1. There is a report 1 and there is a report 2. Report 1 and report 2. I created a dashboard 1 on top of it. Dashboard 1 on top of it. Now the question is, when I delete this data set, what happens to these 2 reports? 2 reports will be completely deleted. What happens to this dashboard? Dashboard will be there or will it be deleted? Dashboard will be there. Every visual in the dashboard will be deleted. So only you kept the visuals from report 1 and report 2. When both the reports are deleted, so every visual in the dashboard will be deleted. Still dashboard will be there. So when I try to delete any data set here, product data set 9am, any data set here. So I'll go here, click on delete it. When you delete this data set, it is telling that all reports will be deleted. All dashboard tiles, visuals, guys. Dashboard tiles, this data set will also be deleted. Dashboard tiles containing data from this data set will also be deleted. Just click on delete. When I click on delete, delete the data set. Any report which was developed on top of it, it will be deleted. And the dashboard, in the dashboard, the visuals will be deleted. Visuals will be deleted. So that is delete, guys. And the next, quick insights. Insights is, so if you want to quickly have a data set, on top of data set, I can create visuals myself. So when I click on get quick insights, Power BI service itself, it will create the visuals. Get quick insights. This get quick. Get Quick Insights. What this Get Quick Insights will do is, Get Quick Insights will read every table in the data set. As soon as you click, it will read every table in the data set and it will identify dimension. The dimension columns and fact columns, Power BI itself will create the visuals. Let me write that point here. So Get Quick Insights. It will read every table. It will read every table in the model. Every table in the model, whatever the model we created, it will read every table in the model and it will identify dimension columns and fact columns. It will identify dimension columns and fact columns, dimension columns and fact columns, dimension columns and fact columns, and it will create the visuals using the dimension columns and fact columns. It will create visuals using dimension columns and fact columns, dimension and fact columns. So all this will be happen automatically when you click on Get Quick Insights. But only drawback here is, so it will treat all the number columns as fact columns and text and date columns as dimension columns. So when I go and click on Get Quick Insights, it will read every table in this model and it will take all number columns as fact columns and it will take text columns and date columns as dimension columns. In the combination of fact columns and dimension columns, it will create the visuals. So look at this. My insights are ready here. When I click on View Insights, you'll find some visuals. Each year-wise promotion key. It's an invalid visual, guys. Promotion key is not a fact column. It's a dimension column only. But Power BI does not know. So when it is a key or when it is a number column, it is taking as a fact column. So you'll get some valid visuals. Ship mode wise percentage sales. Yes, a valid visual. Each ship mode, how much percentage of sales we have. Standard class ship mode have more percentage of sales. So there are some valid visuals. You can find it. Subcategory wise profits. Correct. Which subcategory is having more profits? So here tables is having less profits, negative side. So there are some valid visuals, invalid visuals, and copiers having more profits. So when you go and check it, you will have some valid visuals, invalid state-wise count of returns. It's a valid visual. It will create a lot of visuals here. So if you want to analyze some data quickly, state-wise, ROID, it's a completely wrong visual, guys. ROID is not a fact column. So as it is a number column, Quick Insights option is thinking it is a fact column, but it is not the fact column. It is a dimension column. Right? Like this, it will create some visuals by considering all the number columns, product-wise profits, a valid visual. So how it will create is by considering all the fact columns or all the number columns as fact columns, date and text columns as dimension columns. So whenever you need to do some analysis quickly, I have an Excel file. So I have an Excel file sample here. I'll show you. I have an Excel file here, Power BI material, Power View. So there is an Excel file with the name financial sample. And I want to perform some analysis on this. So when I want to perform some analysis on it, within seconds, I want to create some visuals on it. You can create it. How can you create within seconds some visuals on it is within seconds. How can we create it? Is like this. Within seconds, how can we create the visuals is just go here. So open the workspace, click on Get Data, and I want to bring the data from files. I'll explain again this one. Click on Get Local Files, browse it where the local files are there. Power BI material, Power View, and somewhere here. Financial sample, click on Open. So there is an option called Import and Upload. I'll discuss about it. Just click on Import. When I click on Import, you will get a data set here. So that Excel file got it as a data set. When you have a data set, what you can do, you can go and click on Get Quick Insights. When I click on Get Quick Insights, what you will get? It will read that data set. It will identify the tables you have in the data set, and it will identify dimension columns and fact columns. With the dimension columns and fact columns, it will create the visuals. It will create the visuals. Click on View Insights. When I click on View Insights, you got the visuals that was created by this segment-wise average sales price. It will create a lot of visuals, segment-wise discounts, and there will be some valid segment-wise units sold. There will be some valid visuals, some invalid visuals also. So segment-wise count of products. So there will be some valid visuals, invalid visuals, but it is creating the visuals within seconds, guys. So we don't even use the quick insights also, but keep in mind, there is an option. So the next one you will see is security. Security. So there is a concept called row level security. In the going forward classes, I'll discuss about a concept called row level security. That time we'll discuss it. Security is related to row level security. RLS stands for row level security. In the topics which I listed here, I listed one topic with the name row level security. Here, I'll discuss about that. And renaming the data set. If you want, you can go and change the name of the data set. Whenever you need to change any name, so for the first time when you're bringing the data set, you have financial sample. I want to rename it to financial sample data set or something. Financial data set or something. Rename, and you can change it. Financial data set, I want to change it. So when I change it, when I click on save, the name got changed here. Renaming the data set. Settings. There are some cases where we will go with some default settings, guys. Where we will go with some default settings. Where we will go with some default settings. So what are the settings you have is, so when you go to the settings, you will find some options called gateway connection. When we install the gateway, you need to use the gateway connection here. And there are some times where we will change the parameters, and we'll come back and we'll discuss some settings here. Endorsement, what is this endorsement? So schedule refresh, when you want to schedule refresh it, we'll discuss it. So whenever you want to change any default settings for any data set, we'll go to the settings, we'll change it, we'll discuss some options there. What are the important options you have? I'll discuss them. Download the PBX file. So what is this download the PBX file? How it will be helpful? How it will be helpful? Important, guys. Let's understand. So I prepared a data set. I published it. At the time of preparing this data set, the roadmap is 10 reports. My client given some data sources. Using the data sources, my client asked me to create 10 reports initially. 10 reports. To create the 10 reports, I created a data set. And I created 10 reports on top of it. Later on, my client is asking to create 2 more reports. Along with the 10 reports, my client is asking to create 2 more reports. So using these data sources, I created a data set. I published it to the Power BI Service Project Workspace. And using the data set, I created the 10 reports. I shared with my clients. And later on, they're asking to create 2 more reports. In the same project, later on, they're asking to create 2 more reports. Initially, there are 10 reports only. Now I want to create 2 more reports. When I want to create 2 more reports now, how can I create it? How can we create it? So if you want to create 2 more reports, might be this is a new requirement where this data set will be sufficient, or you want to make some changes to the data set. There are some cases. So to create these 2 reports, whatever the tables you have in this data set, they are not sufficient. Why? Because at the time of preparing this data set, I kept in mind that I want to create only these 10 reports. These 2 reports are not there that time. So this data set might not contains the tables or might not contains the data what we need here. And we might need to make some changes to this data set. How can you do that? So if you want to make some changes to the data set, if you have the data set somewhere saved here, on the day I prepared a data set. I saved in desktop and I published it to Power BI Service. And unfortunately, I deleted it now. In my desktop, to make it clear, I deleted it. But now, client is asking to create 2 more reports on this data set. To create the 2 more reports on this data set, I want some additional tables. So here, you have only 7 tables here. 7 tables are here. So along with the 7 tables, to create the 2 more reports, to create the two more reports, what I need? I need some more tables called EMP table and DEPT table. I need the two more tables also in my data set. I need to modify my data set to create additional two more reports. Whenever you need to modify it, if you have the data set open somewhere here, you can open it and you can start editing it. You can modify the data set. Unfortunately, it is not available here. What I can do is I can go and download this data set. I can modify it. How can you download this data set from Power BI services? Go here, click on download the PBX file. Download the PBX file. When you click on download the PBX file, a data set will be downloaded. Look at this. When I click on download the PBX file, a data set will be downloaded. Look at this. It is downloading, guys. Let it download. Once it download, you will find it in the downloads folder. You can find it in the downloads folder. It is downloading. Let it download. Refresh. So it got downloaded, guys. Look at this. This is the one. Sales analysis data set 9 AM Jan 2021. I can start opening it. I can start opening the data set. So once after opening the data set, I can modify my data set. I want to modify my data set in such a way, I want to create two more reports. So what are the tables I have in this data set? They're not sufficient. So I want some more tables. How to get some more tables here? Not this, close this, don't save. So this one. I want to modify my data set. I want to get two more tables into my data set. EMP table and DEPT tables to create the traditional reports. Simply get data, click on Excel, EMP, DEPT, click on open and bring the tables. EMP table and DEPT table. Click on load. So now you got additional tables also. In the model, we got EMP, DEPT table also additionally. Now I can save it. And I can republish it. I can republish my data set. To which workspace? 9 AM project workspace. Select this, click on select. What it will ask now? It will ask, do you want, already there is a data set with the same name. Do you want to replace it? When you replace it, it will create an impact on 4 reports and 2 dashboards. Frankly to speak, I haven't removed anything here. I added something new. When you added something new, no problem at all. Just replace it. When you click on replace, a data set with updated tables, you will get it. Now, if you go here, you'll get a data set which contains how many tables this time? You will even find EMP, DEPT table also. This time, I can create additional 2 more reports. At any point of time, whenever you want to make any changes to your data set, just go here, download the PBX file, make the changes, and republish it again. Any questions so far? Anybody have any questions so far? Fine. The next one is download RDL file. RDL is something different, guys. We have one software called Power BI Report Builder. So we have one software called Power BI Desktop. There is another software. If you observe here, look at this. There is 2 softwares here. Power BI Report Builder. Power BI Report Builder. So this is one software. Power BI Report Builder software. So this software is used for creating paginated reports. There is a concept called paginated reports. So to create a paginated reports, we'll use Power BI Report Builder. When you create any report using Power BI Report Builder, you'll get an extension called RDL. You ignore it. We will work on Power BI Desktop. And when you develop something in Power BI Desktop, you'll get an extension called PBX. So we'll deal with this. This is related to some other software, Power BI Report Builder software. So which will help us to create paginated reports. When you create something, when you publish it, when you create something, when you publish it, you will get RDL file extension. RDL file extension, guys. So ignore it for now. So manage permissions. The next option you are seeing is manage permissions. So what is this manage permissions? Let's understand. Manage permissions. So when I click on manage permissions, it is opening like this. So when you want to go to manage permissions, let me explain. So I want to give this data set. I want to give the permissions to this data set to some other people. So who can create reports on top of this data set? So only the people who are there in this workspace. I can go here, I can show you. Go to this workspace. In this workspace, who are the people we have? User 29 and user 30 we have. Only these two people can create reports on top of this data set. So take an example. In my company, we started one more project. In my company, we started one more project. So there is a company called ABC Company. ABC Company. So in the ABC Company, they started two projects, Power BI project. Project 1 and Project 2. Project 2. In the Project 1, they hired user 29, user 30, and in Project 2, they hired user 31 to do the work. When they start any project, they'll take Power BI developers. The Project 1 is a bigger project. They hired 2 developers there. And Project 2 is a small project where they hired only 1 developer there. 1 developer there. Okay. So first they started Project 1, guys. Project 1. So in the Project 1, user 29 connected to the data sources, connected to the data sources, extracted the data, and created a data set here. Created a data set. And the data set is used by both user 29, user 30. They created the reports. In the companies, I said that when the data set is complex, it might even take how much time, guys? To create it, it might take 15 days or 20 days also. So take an example, user 29 created this data set. He take 25 days of time and he created a data set. And so same data sources, user 31 also want to use, and he want to create some reports. Here in this project, they want to create 20 reports. At the 20 reports we created, user 29 accessed this data set, created 10 reports, and user 30 accessed this data set, created 10 reports. Totally they created 20 reports. Right? So when they create 20 reports here totally, so now user 31 also want to create 10 more reports. When they want to create 10 more reports in this another project, so he want to connect to the data sources. He want to prepare a data set. To prepare a data set again, user 31 also will take 25 days of time. So what we'll do is, so whatever a data set was prepared by user 29 in the project 1, same data set is sufficient for me. The same data set is sufficient for me to create 10 reports in the project 2 also. So what is the need of creating a data set again in the another project? You don't want to create it. So I want to give the permissions to this data set to user 31. So I want to share this data set with 31. So tell me guys, can user 31 create a report on top of this data set? I'll sign out here. I'll log in with user 31. Someone tell me user 31 can create a report. So I'm opening it. I'll sign in with user 31 now. I'll sign in with user 31. User 31 at Power BI training.in. Click on continue. Might be it takes time. So when I click on continue, tell me user 31 can access this data set, can create the report means no. No, it is not possible. Why it is not possible? In this workspace, project 9am workspace, only who are the developers we have? Who are the people who have the access? User 29 have the access and user 30 have the access. User 30 have the access. User 29 and 30 have the access. Let me open it, guys. Why it is taking time? Fine. So in this case, can user 29, user 31 can create a report on top of this? This means no, guys. I want to log in with user 39. So when I log in with user 31, can I go to get data? Can I click on Power BI data sets? Can I connect to this data set? Means no. Is it possible to connect to this data set? Means no. So let me search for the data set. When I click on it, I'm not able to see it. So user 31 is working for another project. He want to access the same data set. So someone tell me what we need to do. If you want to access the data, initially, when we create this workspace, only user 29 is there in that workspace. Only user 29 is there in the workspace. We added only user 29 there. So only 29 access this data set. When user 30 want to access the same data set, what we did? We added him to the project workspace. We added him to the project workspace. Now the question is, when user 31 want to access the same data set, what we need to do? What we need to do? Someone tell me.
So we'll add him to same project space. Yeah.
We will add him to same project workspace.
Yeah.
But it is not recommended. Why? Because user 31 is not working for this project. When you add user 31 to this workspace, what is the problem? When you add user 31 to this workspace, he will not only access this data set, he will access this data set, this data flow, he can access this reports, he can access this dashboards. I don't want. I want to give only access to a single data set. When you add him to the workspace, he'll get the equal rights to that workspace. He'll get the equal rights to that workspace, right? Then what I need to do? So this time, I just want to give the permissions to this data set. You are not supposed to add. If user 31 want to work for this project, you can add it, no problem. But this time, user 31, he no need to work for this project. He need to work for other project, but I just need to give the permissions to this data set only. Data set only. How can I do it? Just let's do it like this. So just you need to go here, click on manage permissions. When you go to the manage permissions, click on add user. So in the add user, you need to give the permissions to what? User 31. User 31. So look at this navigation. You need to go to here, click on manage permissions. On the top, you will find add user. Click on add user and go and add him. User, what? User 31. 31. Go and add user 31 here. Once you add user 31, so there are two check boxes here. Allow recipients to reshare the artifacts. Allow recipients to reshare the artifacts, or allow recipients to build the new content from the underlying data set. Allow recipients to build the new content using the underlying data set. Underlying data set. Right? So do you want to give the permissions to user 31? Now user 29 is sharing this data set to user 31. Tomorrow, if user 31 want to share it to 32, you need to give this permission. I don't want to give the permissions to user 31 to share it with 32. You want to uncheck this. You want to uncheck this option. And allow recipients to build the new content from the underlying data set. Do you want to check this box or you want to uncheck it? Allow recipients, user 31, to build new content from underlying data set. New content is nothing but what? On top of these data sets, reports and dashboards. Yes, you need to check it. I want to give the permissions to user 31 to build new content or reports and dashboards on top of the data set. Click on add. As soon as you click on add, now user 31 got read permissions and build permissions. Now tell me guys, so when you go to this workspace, 9 AM project workspace, will you see user 31 there? When you go to workspace access, we don't have user 31. Can user 31 access this data set now? Tell me. Can user 31 access this data set now?
No. No.
Yes.
Yes, he will access. Power BI data sets, when I click on it, so user 31 still able to see it. Why? Even though when he is not there in this workspace, he can access the data set. Why? You give the manage permissions, we given user 31 a build permissions. Data set. There is a concept called shared data set. You can share the data set from one project people to another project people. This concept shared data set. We are sharing the data set to other people. Shared data sets. So whenever you need to share the data set with other people, so it is not recommended. Whenever I need to give just permissions to this data set, not for the complete project. When I want to give the complete project, go to the project, add him. When I want to just share the project data set, you want to go with manage permissions, there you need to provide it. We call it as shared data sets. So they will ask you, is it possible to share the data set to the people who are there in another workspace, another project? Yes, we can share it. That time it is not recommended to add it to the project. You just want to go to manage permissions, you need to share it. Fine. The next one is view lineage. So it will show related objects. When I click on view lineage, it will open a image, a graph where it will show. I click on the data set, I click on view lineage. On this data set, how many reports was developed? You can see it. On this data set, we developed a few reports like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reports, 5 reports we created. So on top of that reports, what dashboards we created? So you can see. So to create these dashboards, we use these 3 reports. For creating this dashboard, how many reports we used? For creating this dashboard, we used these 2 reports, right? Like this. So this report was developed on top of where? This data set. This data set was developed on top of where? This data source. Like this, you can see the related content graphically here. What are the related objects? On top of this data set, what reports we developed? On top of reports, what dashboards we developed? If you want to see, you can go and click on view lineage. When I click on view lineage, I can see the related content. So this data set contains 5 reports and 2 dashboards. And how many workspace people are accessing the data set? For now, only 1 workspace people are accessing. So now you are seeing some statistics like this here. So these are the different options we have at a data set level, guys. Anybody have any questions about data set options? Fine. So today we'll continue from here in tomorrow's class, guys. Let me cancel. 9 AM December 2020 Power BI files. I'll go to notes. I'll edit this. Let me save it. Right? So fine, we'll stop here for today. We'll continue from here in tomorrow's class, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you.